Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. All right, rock stars. So I will have you know that it is 8:38 in the PM. Y'all know I don't be fucking with y'all this time of night. Y'all know I don't be fucking with y'all this time of night, okay? But it's Wednesday night. I really need to get this video done because Thursday I need to get this up and I can be done with the channel until next Monday because we got Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and my birthday, okay? So I don't want to have to be fooling with this after tomorrow. So that's why we are doing the video today. That's why you guys got me at 8:38 in the PM, in the post-meridian. Anyway, you guys, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, like Pastor say. Turn your Bibles to, no, let me get my notes up. I ain't even all the way 100% prepared. I got my notes though, y'all just gotta get them. All right, you guys, first story up. Let's talk about the rise in the Rona. New cases, we'll give you some numbers. As of the 21st, which was yesterday, we have 154,555 new cases, 1,351 deaths reported on the 21st, and we have 69,209 people currently in the hospital. Studies suggest that this new strain of the Omicron, okay, mama named him Omicron, but the Omicron, the new strain, is those who have been infected by this new strain of coronavirus, the symptoms or the reaction seems to be milder than, the Delta and the coronavirus 19's COVID-19. So it seems like with each passing strain, well, they said Delta was supposed to be stronger, but this strain they think is a milder reaction. Of course, they're saying that if you are vaccinated, that also helps, and that if you do have a breakthrough case, most likely you will have milder symptoms. Now, of course, there are always those times when it can be worse, including death, which is why, nobody wants to take the chance of catching corona. Some people still don't take it seriously because for the most part, people survive it fine. But when you hear about those deaths, and I've had actually quite a few rock stars this week tell me that they've been sick. I've had a few tell me that they've had family members that have passed. So it's still real out there in the Rona streets, you guys. It's still happening. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. So you have to be diligent. If by any chance you do get the Omicron, Pfizer just was approved with a COVID pill, okay? And those who are 12 years old and older are able to take this pill, and it's supposed to, if you already have a compromised immune system, then the pill is supposed to keep you from getting very ill. Okay, so you kind of take it as not necessarily preventative measure because you first have to start having some sort of sickness. But at first sign of your sickness, you take the pill and it's supposed to keep you. They say that the studies that they did using this pill, they did it during the Delta strain when that was the major strain that was going through the country. They said that it prevented hospitalizations and deaths by 88%. And because the Omicron is less, is milder from what they can tell, they don't really know, okay, because it's only been circulating for like 3 weeks. So they're still trying to get their data together. Let me just take this out. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I was trying to get my sound a little bit better, but hopefully you guys can hear me fine. Let me make sure that this is off. But yeah, you could take the pill and that's supposed to also ease up the symptoms and keep you from out of the hospital. So yeah, the COVID pill is out now. Are you guys willing to take this COVID pill? I don't know. Something about the pill just makes me a little leery. I did the vaccination and I plan on doing my booster. I really wish I would have done the booster already, but it's just been hard to get to. First of all, I don't be nowhere because I work at home. And, you know, on the weekends, me and Mr. might go out, but we haven't in the last few weeks. So, I mean, we've gone to Christmas parties and stuff, but we haven't done like out stuff. So, you know, but I still, you know, everybody still needs to take their booster. And then now it's hard to get into the place to get the booster done. So, you know, it's just like before. The doctors are expecting a surge to go up. Some cities are already surging. New York is having a surge, and I think I read, was it Denver? So there's places around the country that you know, are preparing for maybe not too exciting weekend. You know, the holidays coming up. The thing is, if you get sick around Christmas time, then you're gonna be, or if you get not sick, but if you come into contact with the virus around Christmas, then you'll most likely be sick by the time you get to New Year's. So that's what they're expecting, like the New Year's, or right after the New Year's, for, you know, for the numbers to go up, because people will have been together for Christmas, and that was when they got infected. So, okay. So anyway, what's the symptoms of Omarion? Well, it's a sore or scratchy throat, it's nasal congestion, it's dry cough, it's muscle pain. They said especially in your lower back. And those are basically the same symptoms as the other strains of coronavirus. I think they're saying that the sense of the loss of taste and the loss of smell seems to be less happening in this strain, but pretty much it's still the same symptoms, and they're still trying to see. Like I said, it's still a new strain, only been circulating for about 3 weeks, and so they're still trying to see if there's going to be other symptoms that most people who have contact with the virus, you know, that they get that. But so yeah, you guys, I haven't been talking about Rona because, you know, numbers was going down and people were relaxing and all that, but with, you know, these new strains that keep on popping up all the time, you know, we just got to put the word back out there again, you guys. Y'all let me know what you think about that COVID pill, though. It sort of kind of sounds like the abortion pill, or the, you know, the cancer pill. It's like certain pills just sound kind of taboo, and you don't know if you want to take them or not. But yeah, Pfizer has put that out there. I mean, anything that's going to keep people from dying, I guess, is going to be a good thing. But y'all let me know what you think about it. But as always, Rocky gonna tell you to what? Wear your mask. Wear your mask, in the words of Andrew Caldwell. And you guys make sure that you wash your hands. Make sure you keep your distance. And really, those are the 3 things that are the most important, that's gonna keep you, you know, that at least will help keep you safer, okay? So that's it, y'all. Be careful out there. Rocky love you. All right, you guys. So next story. This was a big story yesterday. Okay, actually there was 2 big stories yesterday, but I'm gonna give you the first big story that was happening. Remember I told you guys about Megan Good and Devin Franklin. I probably told you guys about that back in maybe the beginning of October. And there was rumor going around that those 2 had separated. Now, I told you guys in that video to take it with a grain of salt, because that news was coming from Media Takeout. And, you know, we really don't put much stock in the Media Takeout, because they have been known to just create stories out the blue. All right. But fast forward to yesterday, yes, they actually did know what they were talking about. And yes, Devin Franklin actually did file for divorce from Megan Good. Okay, now they had been married for 9 years. And, you know, they put out a statement yesterday, or actually I think it was her that put out a statement yesterday saying that it wasn't anybody's fault, you know, that they were together and the love was still there. You know how it always is when people get a divorce, you know, you loved each other so much, why y'all ain't still together, you know. But, you know, the love and the respect is still there, and, you know, they've decided to go on different paths and all this, you know, and they posted a picture of the 2 of them. Actually, it's very sad. It was sad. I really wanted it to work out for them, but it was difficult for them from the very beginning. I think it was probably more difficult for Megan Good than Devon Franklin, because she was the one that had to, it seemed like she was the one that had to conform the most, okay? She's marrying this pastor. Yeah, I know he was a Hollywood producer and all of that, but she's marrying this pastor of this, you know, and the people in the church have an issue with the way she looks, the way she dresses, you know, the roles that she takes. You got to remember, she was an actress before she was with Devon Franklin, okay? And she was already known as being a very sexy girl before she got with him. So, you know, you can't expect this woman to change. This is who she is, you know? And nobody says she out there hoeing around or doing anything. But anyway, the church gave her a hard time. And she was always uncomfortable about it. They would talk about her titties being out. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff, right? So it was a lot to have to deal with, I'm sure. It probably took its toll. I was watching Impressive's video, and she mentioned something about them, you know, never having kids. I don't know if it was by choice, or if it was, you know, if there may have been issues in in her getting pregnant. That's not even any of our business. But I wonder if maybe that may have weighed in on it, because they've been together for 9 years and, you know, they hadn't had any children. Not saying that you have to, you know, but I'm just saying, usually you would build a family together. And so I'm not sure if that might have had something to do with it, or maybe they just was over it. You know, sometimes, like Suki Hana said, I'm like, am I really quoting Suki Hana? But she was saying in the comments that I saw that sometimes, you know, maybe he was molding her for her next person. Like, you know, he turned her into a God-fearing woman, or, you know, not that she wasn't God-fearing already, but maybe he honed her relationship with God, brought her closer to God, and maybe that's what he was there for. And, you know, so I was like, okay, Suki, girl, making a little sense there. So, I mean, you just never know. But I really did want it to work out for them, because they were such a good looking couple, and they seemed to be very happy. Blue, shut up! They seemed to be very happy. And then, you know, about 6 months ago, I guess it all kind of started to fall apart. And I told you guys that he was here in Atlanta. She was in Los Angeles. They said that she was starting to go to a lot of, you know, events, Hollywood events by herself. And then she was seen without her ring. And usually if you don't have your ring on, men can do that more than women. When women don't have their ring on, that is usually a statement, you know. And so when she was spotted numerous times without her ring, and then somebody said, yeah, you know, they're not going to blast her out or anything, but she kind of moving like a single person, you know, then I saw Bondi say that once she saw her in that show Harlem, I still haven't seen Harlem. But I guess her character is full-blown sex pot, you know, character. You know, I guess people were putting 2 and 2 together, that maybe she was going full force into her roles, taking roles that she wasn't taking before, you know, all of that. So it's too bad, though. It's too bad. But I mean, you know, shit happens. Let me not mess up, child, and see what happened when you're in the room and all of this. Shit happens, but I did want it to work for them. But hey, everybody gonna be fine, though. I tell you guys that all the time, because they're both 2 good-looking people. They seem to be good people. And I'm sure that somebody is gonna scoop both of them up, because the women at the church, honey, you know, they was already chomping at the bit at Devon. Okay, and honey, Megan ain't gonna have no problem trying, you know, with the men's either, because, you know, like I said, beautiful girl, always been a sex symbol and all of that. So, you know, the doors of the church are open, right? I mean, not laughing about them getting a divorce. You guys not funny, but you know, we just try to look at everything, you know, positively. Everybody's gonna move on just fine, y'all, just fine. But yeah, you guys, Megan Good and Devon Franklin, it's a wrap on that. All right, you guys, and since we're talking about marriages, did you guys hear about that blind item that went up yesterday? So there was a blind item that hit the World Wide Web yesterday, and it was something about 2 chefs in the kitchen. I think that's what they called it. And basically, the blind item had described that even though this couple tried to present themselves, okay, it was an NBA couple that presented themselves as, very Christian-like and, very faithful to each other and, all of that, that in reality, they have an open marriage and that they both see other people, but they do it very discreetly so that nobody knows about it and doesn't blow their cover and their whole image of being this perfect kind of family. And people put 2 and 2 together and said that it must be Ayesha and Steph Curry. Now, because Ayesha is a chef, we know that she has a cooking show. Okay, so that's your one chef. And then evidently they sometimes call Steph Curry the chef because of because of him cooking on the, I keep wanting to say tarmac, cooking on the court. So that's why they said, okay, it's 2 chefs in the kitchen. That would be Steph and Ayesha. Even though I'm not sure if I believe this blind item, I won't 100% discredit it. First of all, because people are human and, shit happens all the time. And sometimes people do things in their marriages to try to make it work, to try to keep themselves together, out of boredom, out of resentment, out of whatever it is that they do. So it's not impossible for it to have happened. But when I think of Ayesha and Steph Curry, I think of them as a brand. Okay, not only are they married, but it's sort of like a brand as well. And this is definitely going to damage their brand. And you would have to really have somebody that you trust extremely to put your brand on the line. Not even thinking about the marriage right now, the brand, because the brand is the money. Okay, to put that on the line and be willing to risk it for this open marriage. Now, I'm not saying that people don't do it, because obviously people do it all the time. But I mean, that's something to think about, right? It's just like, do you just do this for a quick fuck? Or are you just trying to, Now, we know that Ayesha Curry does have some insecurities, like many of us women do, so nobody is saying that she shouldn't. And some people have speculated maybe that's the reason why she did agree to an open marriage. But I was like, who knows if she was the one that was agreeing to it? Maybe it was her idea and Steph had to come around to it, All I know is that these 2 have been together since they were in college at least. And, remember the story, they saved each other, didn't have sex until they got married and they saved each other, saved themselves for each other and all this. And I was just sort of like, I mean, if you want to say that, the same with Sierra and Russell. I was like, y'all just gonna keep on pushing that we was virgins till we got married, or reclaimed virgins, I should say. Anyway, and then I've, always wondered, with Steph Curry, because when you're in the NBA, it is very difficult. I'm sure it is almost impossible for those men to resist the women that come after them. And they're on the road a lot, and it just kind of comes with the territory. And even some of our greatest guys on the field, on the court, years later, we find out that they was having affairs too, so it's not like, it's more normal than not normal. Okay, which is probably too bad, but that's just kind of what it is. So even though Steph was just like this perfect image and all that, I still was just sort of like, he could still very much be out there doing something too. Okay. And then when we found out about his mom and his daddy and all the shit that they was doing, I said, now y'all know y'all too fucking old for these shenanigans. Okay. But that kind of also made me think, like, because that whole Curry brand, it was another brand, because it was the dad and his brother and him, and they all these basketball players and all this, and the mom and the dad was so committed to each other and all that. And then we found out they was getting a divorce, and mama had moved in with the college boyfriend. It was a triangle when they was in college, and now she with that boyfriend, and the dad then put her out and locked her out the house. All this, I was like, y'all just on some regular old ghetto shit. Okay, it ain't got nothing to do with how many millions you got. All right. So if you guys are able to do shit like that, then maybe You know, Steph and Ayesha could be out there like that. You know, you just never know. I won't put it past them. But that other part of me makes me feel like, okay, yeah, no. I don't know. But what do y'all think about it? Do you think that Ayesha and Steph is out there spreading it low? I mean, spreading it wide and laying it low and spreading it wide? Child. I mean, I guess that do add a little spice to it, don't it? What y'all think? Y'all believe the blind item? All right, guys. Congratulations are in order to Sean Puff Daddy P. Diddy, Puffy, Puff, Brother Love, Sean John, whatever you want to call him. It seems that Puff Daddy has bought back his Sean John label for $7.5 million cash now. $7.5 million cash for that label, even though I don't think the label has really been doing anything lately, but that still is very low, okay? Because I'm sure when he sold it, I actually should have looked up how much he sold it for. But let me tell you guys the story. So in 2016, he sold the ownership, the majority ownership of his business to the Global Brands Group, okay? Now, Global Brands Group had Sean John, and then they fell on some hard times, and they ended up in bankruptcy court, okay? So now all of their businesses, I'm sure they liquefying and trying to get rid of assets and doing all of this, and so the brand came back up for sale. And $7.5 million, I'm sure that was an offer that he couldn't refuse. He was able to buy back his brand. And now he says he's ready to reclaim ownership of the brand, build a team of visionary designers and global partners to write the next chapter of Sean John's legacy. Okay, and that's in quotation marks. And good for him. I know at one time Sean John was it. Like, I remember I used to buy all of the velour Sean John sweatsuits. They used to be so nice, child. Had it baby blue, black, navy blue. Okay, you get you some nice tennis shoes to match, and I mean, yeah, Sean John was it for a minute, and then they just kind of fell off. And then it's funny because I've realized that I don't really go to department stores anymore. I think department stores remind me of my mother, and they make me kind of sad when I go because my mom loved her some Macy's, Robinson's May, Bullock's, Orbox, May Company. Any department store reminds me of my mother. So I don't really go to department stores too often, but I know that Sean John, when I would go to the department stores and I would see the Sean John area, like nobody is nothing over there. It's just some old, just some shit that you don't want, some big leg pants and all this. Nigga, what is this, 2008? Like, can you get some, step it up some a little bit? So I'll be interested in seeing what Sean John comes up with. Okay, the fashions have changed, and I imagine that he's going to change with it and bring the brand on, usher it on into 2022. So looking forward to seeing what he got there. So good for him. $7.5 million cash. That boy is rich. Congratulations to you, Puffy. Speaking of Diddy, you guys, I guess I'm just going to give you guys this story real quick. It seems that your boy Trey Songz has been accused of sexual assault once again, you guys. Now, I done already told you that where there's smoke, there's fire, right? It's just that this is happening entirely too much. What the fuck is going on? Okay? Now, they saying back in 2018, he sexually assaulted this woman in Miami. Evidently, he met this woman. He invited her to come spend the evening in his section at the club that they were at. And so her and her girls came. They were sectioned off in some like VIP area or whatever. And when she decided to dance on the couch, that Trey Songz, who was drunk, she said he was drunk. She said he was drunk when she met him. And he continued on with the drinking. He was drinking while he was in the club. Well, while she was dancing on the couch, that he started to digitally penetrate her. So I'm just like, okay, so he's finger banging her right there at the club. And I mean, I don't really know how we do this. Like, do you stop it? You know, is it continuing on? You know, it's just, the story is weird, but that's what she said, that he started to do that. She was shocked. But yet and still, I guess the party went on. They ended up leaving together, and her and her girls ended up leaving with him and his security team or whatever. They were in the car, and I guess they were on their way to the hotel maybe. And Trey Songz was tripping in the car, and she pulled out her video camera to record him, and he got mad at her, okay, threw water in her face, and then they kicked her out of the car. I was just like, just some old nigga shit. I mean, just like, you know that kind of nigga. You know those kind of niggas, okay? Where they just have absolutely no respect. They don't give a fuck because they the star, and they gonna treat a bitch however they want to treat them, you know, because you the groupie, and basically you gonna deal with whatever the hell I throw your way, okay? Throwing water in her face and kicking her out the car. So anyway, she pressed charges. I'm not sure if she reported it back then. I did not get that down, but now we have another case against Tremaine, all right? And it's just starting to be, it's just too much. It's just too much. Now, did I tell you guys that Diddy was also named in this complaint? I'm not sure what she's suing him for. Well, actually, I do know what she's suing him for. She's suing him because she said that he was providing the alcohol that Trey Songz was drinking and getting drunker and drunker. Okay, I don't know how she thinks she gonna sue Diddy for that. Okay, you at a club, he has an alcohol brand, a couple of alcohols. It is his job as an alcohol provider to provide alcohol for everybody. I mean, everybody was drinking. I mean, you gonna sue everybody, all the brands of the alcohol that was at the club? Because no. So, you know, that kind of just sounds like she just threw Diddy in there because maybe it was more money that she can get out of it. But I don't see how you can blame Puffy for anything like that. And the assault, of course, if it is indeed true, then that would have been on Trey Songz. So it's just happening more and more, you guys. We're hearing them stories more and more, and they're just starting to just be like, nigga, I'm gonna have to, I hope y'all women out here ain't just gonna be by yourself with Trey Songz, because that don't sound like, he don't sound like, you know, that's somebody that's safe to be around. Okay, just err on the side of caution, you guys. Don't find yourself just by yourself with Trigger.